Here, we only get a little bit of time in between games, so it's a little bit of a rush to get ready for these games. But we have Montreat and Brescia here. Walt McKibbe with you here. Walt Ferber, I should say. Walt, this should be a good game after one that we just had earlier.
There's a lot of great storylines. Brescia out of Owensboro, Kentucky. They're playing very well. 7-1 out of the blocks. And Montreat, this is a national story. As I learned from you before the second game, they've been displaced from Hurricane Helene. They don't have a home right now. No. It's just basketball. So a lot of good stuff and a lot of great stories as we're off and running. Have not scored yet in this one.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything in the 30 seconds or so that we were gone for. Again, we only have about 10 minutes, so trying to get everything set up on individual streams, it takes a little bit of time. So we'll get that squared away in the future, and there's a foul called. Looks like it was on Montreat. That was Karis Alexander. She is one of the players to watch, according to head coach Jamie Moore, who did get a chance to talk to before the game. A lot can happen in 10 minutes, and talking to both coaches is what happened for us. And Jamie Moore mentioned that Alexander is one of the players to watch on offense and defense. Gets an early foul there.
Now Cassidy Morris at the free throw line, the big. You see he's got a bum knee there, but hits that first free throw.
Rebound off. Brescia keeps it. They're trying to get it down to Cassidy Morris. She's one of the players to look out for. She stays down low on that post, facilitates from there. Lefty three is from Caroline Lucas, and it's off the mark. Montreat will bring it up here with Ramaya Sanders. Sanders gives it off to Alexander. Alexander off the back block. It's only a 1-0 game after the one free throw made.
You see, Brescia likes to run.
Brescia from three with Morris off the mark, and the setup here for Montreat will bring it back out, trying to take a lead with their first basket.
Cassidy Morris is a junior out of Whitesville, Kentucky, plays very well for Brescia.
Alexander missed the three. Brescia gets it right back. Another one from three. That is off the mark and out from Landry Moons. Our officials today, John Peters, Haley Ward, and Chris Spurlock. Again, they have the best gig out of all of us, only one game.
Hey, I like this. I get to sit here and watch some of the best basketball in the country.
Sanders gave it up, and there's the first basket of the game for Vena Petty.
Good transition bucket as Petty is on the board with her first one. And
Caroline Lucas traveled trying to cross over the timeline.
That gives Montreat the lead.
And the ball back here with 7:42 left to go in this first quarter of play. Just underway here in Kingsport. Sanders again. Gives it over to the elbow with Petty. She tried to go for her second basket of the game on back-to-back possessions, just missed, and now Elise Williams will bring it up, another player to keep an eye on today. It's a little bit of a score by committee for this team as the long pass goes up to Edmondson, just off the mark and out of bounds. No, foul is called instead here on Caroline Lucas.
I'm a big fan of the score by committee type of teams. Those are awfully hard to deal with when you have a lot of different people that can put the biscuit in the basket.
It was on the floor, so the foul has the inbound here for Montreat. Edmondson thought about taking the three, pumped it out. Another dribble, almost looked like a double dribble, but the play continues on for Alexander. Now another drive here from Karis Alexander. Those are the sisters for this team, the sophomore and the freshman, 24 and 21.
Crompy with some good defense there for Brescia. Pretty good defensive ball game early.
I apologize. They are not sisters. You get confused seeing the last name, but from two completely different locations. That was a quick assumption on my part. Sisters by name. We'll go with that.
But that's sisters from other mothers.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
You got brothers from another mother and sisters from another mister, all that good stuff.
I'll get it. One thing, I'll get it messed up, I can tell you. But that's kind of what I'm talking about.
The reason I look at it, I'm looking down, I go, oh, one of them's from South Carolina, the other's from North Carolina. So the Alexanders run wild in the Carolinas. 6:35 left to go. Had a whistle and a conversation now between John Peters and Jamie Moore. Jamie Moore is in her first season as the head coach. Of course, dealing with a lot. Hurricane destroyed the gym at Montreat. They're playing at UNCA. That's North Carolina, Asheville. That's where they're practicing, and they're playing all their home games.
Well, her and her assistant, Chantel Davis, have done an excellent job for Montreat and North Carolina. And that is a tough time for a whole lot of folks in the North Carolina area. And sports, a great way to lift people up.
Mid-range jumper, good. Jordan Joe made it. And now here goes Katie Alexander with the drive, gives it off to Karis, and she sinks the lay-in.
Well, Alexander penetrating the lane and putting it up and in. And she has 2, and Petty has 2 for Montreat.
4-3 our score in the early going. 4 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Another drive off of the Bearcats and given back to the Cavaliers.
Virginia Edmondson got in the way there, making a good stop.
Three off the mark, rebound for the Bearcats. Mackey will bring it up. Subs a plentiful for this Bearcat team, and then stolen away. Laying it in is Edmondson, and it's good. 6 points here for Montreat in the early going, and a 3-point lead.
Balanced scoring each. We got 3 people with 1 bucket each, as Montreat has doubled the Bearcats up.
Travel is going to be called here on Brooklyn Stewart, and took 1 too many steps. She'll get subbed out.
And we can say this is going to be an entertaining game because each team is playing this at a breakneck pace.
We have been back and forth so far. A couple misses here and there, but a couple makes to go with it. Cut play in. Here goes Sanders. She lays it in. Early timeout going to have to be called by the Bearcats. And Chakowski, the coach, Nick Chakowski, it's a 30-second timeout, so we will stay here on SESN.
Talked about balance. You've got Edmondson, Sanders, Alexander, and Petty that have all scored a bucket for Montreat in this contest. And a good start for Cassidy Morris for Brescia, but she has had a hard time. They've had a hard time getting her the ball since.
Brescia, again, took the early timeout. Nick Chakowski in his first season. So we are in a battle of first-season head coaches. Now, the difference here is that Chakowski was the interim last year, so took over for the program last year, and it's his 4th year with the program, as opposed to Jamie Moore, who is in her first year altogether with Montreat. Another move by Mackey, and she'll hang on to it, running the point here. Given up to Jordan Joe. Joe goes down low, and then a jump ball is called. The tie-up came from Vanna Petty.
They look hungry, Montreat does. And Petty got in there and tied that one up. And I'll take a hungry team every time. Of course, with what they've gone through, I can certainly understand that.
A team that is looking to have a year faced with a ton of adversity. So currently 4-3 on the season, 3-2 in the Appalachian Conference. And another jump ball. It's going to give it right back to Brescia. And With 4:25 left to go in the first quarter, a press going to come on here for Montreat.
Cassidy Morris got in there. She's having trouble getting her offense going, but a good defensive play.
Mentioned the scoring by committee. That's been somewhat the case in this game, but for the Bearcats, it's what they really need. You're going to see frequent subs trying to play fast and play good defensively. They'll try and get it down low just like they did to Cassidy Morris, who's able to lay it in.
That's what they're going to try to do. Morris can get you from inside or outside, but she got in the perfect position and had an easy 2 points there.
Morris stands at 5'10". She's currently the tallest one on the floor.
And she is a strong 5'10".
Pull up three here from Sanders, off the mark, rebound, hanging on to it. Here is, looked like that was Crampy, it was. Drive here from Williams, gives it to Morris. Morris goes down to Crampy, and with the reverse lay-in, the left hand gets it in. It's a 8-7 game.
Very acrobatic play by Crampy. Took one shot and hit it.
And then a quick answer there from Katie Alexander. Here's the difference. Katie Alexander has been scoring today, but she's known for her assisting ability and her ability to drop dimes, as Coach Moore said.
I like that. 5 players have now scored for Montreat. Balance, and more balance.
The whole starting lineup has scored. No subs so far. And that's how they have 10 points, 5 different scores. Foul was called.
Foul called on Virginia Edmondson. Checking into the game for the Cavaliers, number 3, Jesselyn Roberts.
Foul was called on Virginia Edmondson. It was on the floor, so that's going to bring the inbound set play from the Bearcats. They're looking to get it down low. Crampy with it. They bring it all the way around to Cassidy Morris, who takes a three, and it's just off the mark.
Like her shot. Brescia a little bit cold to start.
Gets the rebound after the coast-to-coast shot from Anna Sands, and gives it back to the Bearcats.
Now Brescia only 3 of 10 to start this ball game, and they have not hit a 3-point shot where they're 0 for 4.
Morris with it, gave it over. Now Williams. Brescia driving, trying to find an opening. They were trying to get it back over to Cassidy Morris, and it just had a little bit too much on it, so turnover there, give it back to Montreat.
Every time you think Brescia's going to climb back in and get this thing knotted up, Montreat comes up with the defensive stop.
10-7, just a 3-point game in favor of Brescia.
Boy, that is the way you flash to the basket.
Foul called on number 55, Cassidy Morris.
Morris gets called for the foul, so 2 shots here for Edmondson.
1 of 3 from the field so far. Edmondson flashed well to the bucket.
Montreat's got 11.
That's their first free throw.
Edmondson goes 2 for 2 at the line. It's 12-7.
All of a sudden, that lead jumps back to 5, and that lets Montreat put on the full court pressure.
Break out of it. Does Brescia. 3 ball here from McKay off the mark. Rebound goes over to Katie Alexander. She'll bring it over to Sanders. Sanders gives it off. Dumped to the corner, kept in by Roberts. Now Alexander will try and cross over. Gives it up to Sands. Sands leaves it for Sanders. Sanders gets it back, drives to the right side, gets fouled, and 2 shots coming.
attacking the bucket. Montreat doing a very, very good job in this game. And at the free throw line, Sanders, 5 different players scoring for Montreat. And they haven't shot many free throws, but they've done the most out of what they have.
First one good for Sanders. Second one as well. 7-point lead.
And they get that dead ball situation that allows Montreat to put on the full court press.
They want to press. They want to play fast and physical. Shot up, no good there from Brooklyn Stewart, and then knocked out.
Now this is a point of 2 immovable objects. Both these teams want to play fast.
Isaac Newton's law coming into play.
Getting scientific
We
on
are.
me today.
It's only the second game. I expected this maybe
Wow.
in the third or fourth, but here we are. Three ball here from Alexander. Good.
She had a good open look, took her time and drained it.
That's Katie with the 3. The Bearcats need to find an answer here, down by 10, and it quickly has jumped to a 10-point lead. Back out. Williams. A lot of ball movement, but ultimately had to dish it off. Now she looks to put on another move, puts on a spin, tries to go up and is fouled. Virginia Edmondson will draw the call.
I think she had all ball, but got maybe a little bit of the body on that.
Only thing,
And it's second foul for her.
that is the second foul, so she's going to end up having to check out here. I was going to say, the only thing you might have had is she might have gotten all ball, but if she didn't go straight up, and she had that angle, it's going to be an automatic foul call, and that's what this officiating crew has done. John Peters, Haley Ward, Chris Spurlock.
77.3% at the free throw line.
Williams did make the first. Misses the second. Rebound, though, stays with the Bearcats, and then another foul is called. Karis Alexander as getting her second. She has to be careful now.
You've got multi-point opportunity here for Brescia.
Brooklyn Stewart misses the first. 17-8 is the score in favor of Montreat. Second one is good. And the shot clock is off. This will be the last possession if Montreat wants it. 17-9 is our score. Inbound play. Elbow with 10 seconds left on the clock. Rebound off the head of a defender, and now Brescia gets the last shot. Williams has to take a shot, but instead she took a pass, and it's going to draw the clock to an end in the first quarter here. 17-9 is the score.
A little bit too much unselfish there. I thought she had a wide open look on the right way.
Montreat and Brescia going at it here on SCSN from the show in Kingsport. We'll be right back for the second quarter of action. Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee. This is the show presented by Visit Kingsport. It's the Brescia Bearcats taking on the Montreat Cavaliers. Montreat currently leading 17-9.
You know, it looked early on like Brescia was going to keep this close and maybe even take the lead, but Montreat got the tempo They played a very fast-paced quarter, and they played some exceptional basketball.
So we get right underway. Montreat with possession here to start and the lead. They rely on Sanders here to be a key player. She is on the AAC watch list. Cut play here, trying to set up Katie Alexander. And that shot just off the mark from Sanders. Sanders, another Alexander. A team that is full of players that are gelling well.
I tell you what, they're really doing a good job of denying Cassidy Morris the ball.
That's where the Bearcats have been trying to go. It looked like Carolina Lucas was trying to draw the foul and didn't get it. Left back here for Maddie Fiera. And Fiera will dump off for a three for Edmondson, and it's just off the mark. Rebound for Morris. Morris was contested for the rebound, but was able to box out and get it.
She had perfect placement there.
Now it's down low and a foul called. Foul was called on Landry Moons, who does not agree with it.
She had one of those, me?
She heard the whistle and thought that she had drew the foul. But instead, it was called on her with 8:42 left to go here in the first half now.
And Brescia is still trying to break into double digits in this game.
And held at 9 for the past 4 or so minutes, it feels like. In game time, not in real time. Lucas is going to drive, trying to get an answer. Just falls it to the side of the rim. Rebound for Montreat. They'll break out quickly here. Fast-paced transition offense here for Alexander. Kicks it out for Fiera. Fiera gives it back to Alexander. This is Katie, that is. Now it's down low. Delivered for Robinson. Can't get it up. Can't get it in, but the rebound stays with Alexander. Three-point ball, Edmondson. Now it's off the mark. Rebound goes to the Bearcats. They'll bring it out.
Edmondson hurried that one just a bit.
Mackey gives it to Morris. Morris from 3. That's where she's been open. They've left Morris out there. She hasn't hit a 3 quite yet. Turnover there after a quick outlet pass. This is Mackey. Gives it out for Moons. Moons hits.
Perfect inside-out placement by the Brescia Bearcats.
Moons, that's her first points of the game, and it's a big 3. Makes it 17-12. Now a double team trying to get the ball back. It's knocked loose, but Montreat will hang on to it. Alexander in the corner. Katie for 3. Katie off the mark. They settle things down, do the Bearcats. In the blue today, considered the road team. Doesn't necessarily matter as much in basketball, but you got to give the distinction. So Montreat gets to be the home team. Also, Montreat closer in this situation. Only about an hour and a half drive to get into Kingsport. They actually did the drive today.
And Owensboro, that's about 7.5 to 8 hours away. I came in from Oakland City. We're about 8.5 to 9 hours out. Left very early this morning.
Down low, Alexander with it. Is able to off it to Petty, and Petty lands it in.
Petty with a nice flash to the bucket. Saw her comrade was in trouble and ends up with a good, easy bucket there.
Mackey gave it off to Risley. Now Morris down low. That's the first time they've been able to get it down to Morris here in the second quarter. And she drew the foul by Vinaya Petty, so she'll head to the line.
Well, this is kind of like Faulkner in the first game that we just had, as Faulkner tried to get it into Smith. It took them a while to do that. But if they can get the ball underneath the Cassidy Morris, good things are going to happen.
Was on the floor. No, it was on a shooting. They were setting up for something on the floor, but it was a shooting foul. So Cassidy Morris is at the line now, shooting 2.
A 91.7% free throw shooter. That is a lady you want to have at the free throw line.
And hits the first. And it looks like there's a conversation here between Jamie Moore and John Peters.
Explaining it to Nick Tchaikovsky.
Be curious what that conversation was. First shot was already made. No, they're going to take, actually, it was supposed to be on the floor. So we originally were having the conversation about whether it was a shot or not. We thought it was going to be an on the floor. They went to the line to shoot free throws.
Are you trying to sell it if you can?
Yeah, Jamie Moore came over to the official and said, I thought you called it on the floor, which takes the basket. That free throw does not count, didn't happen. And Moore will just instead get her own rebound and take two.
Well, she gets two anyway. And you saw the strength of that rebound and perfect positioning. Back to a 5-point game.
So the confusion leads to an inbound basket, essentially based on her free throw numbers, probably what would have happened anyway. Had already made the first, but doesn't count anyway. Fake shot blocked, and foul instead is called. Brooklyn Stewart thought she went up clean, but Petty drew the foul and she'll head to the line.
And that is a tremendous move to the bucket for Montreat. You have Petty heading to the free throw line, and that was one heck of a baseline fake.
So Petty now will have two shots here, trying to extend the lead out. 19-14 is the score, make it 20-14. Petty goes 2 for 2. Both these teams coming off of wins in their last game. Brescia took on St. Mary Woods, won that handily, and Montreat took on Johnson City. That was a lay-in easy floater for Caroline Lucas, makes it 21-16. Both wins, both handily wins against teams that felt like they should have wins against.
St. Mary's of the Woods annually pretty good in the River States Conference, but Brescia looks like they may be on the cusp of a very good year.
Knocked out. You mentioned the River States Conference. Both of those games were conference games, which is a little bit out of the works for these teams early in the season, but you see that a lot now. And actually, Montreat's going to go conference play, out of conference play here for the Kingsport games, and then back in to conference play on December 4th.
But these are games that really toughen you up. And
Fiara made it.
All of a sudden back to a 7-point game.
Breakout here. Risley with it, thought about pulling up from 3. Now it's dumped off to Morris. Morris is going to drive, takes 2 steps and gets fouled.
Yeah, she knew that she probably wasn't going to hit that, but she had the presence of mind to get fouled by Katie Alexander. She saw there was going to be contact and said, heck, might as well get myself back to the free throw line here.
So this will officially be her first free throw of the game.
And she still is a 91.7% free throw shooter.
Makes the first. Makes the second. She's quick with her motion, too. A lot of players that have that high percentage usually take their time. Not Cassidy Morris. She gets the ball and shoots.
I like what she learned, too. And I learned this from Steve Alford when he was at Newcastle High School in Indiana. You don't take much of a knee bend. You want to be consistent, and the shorter you can make that, the better you can be, especially down the stretch in the second half.
Less moving parts, easier shot. Travel is going to be called here on Anna Sands. And the Bearcats will get it back on the side out.
Now, the way she plays, Cassidy Morris could be a good coach someday.
Very much so.
Good basketball IQ.
4:35 left to go in this first half of play. We're in the second quarter. 23-18 is the score. Montreat leads. 14 seconds. Now, foul is called. It was on Nia Sands, her second of the game. I do want to point out, we are, like we mentioned, we're in Conference Room B, but Conference Room A is right on the other side of the wall.
It's close, and you may hear a buzzer sometimes that it is Conference Room A.
There's another one into Cassidy Morris. She misses it but gets her own rebound. That's what I wanted to point out, is that you might hear a shot clock go off, so these players really need to be aware of what the shot clock is at on their court.
You got to be aware of your situation. You're right on track there.
Spin move up. Risley misses it. Rebound goes to Sands, and it's going the other way with Montreat. 4 minutes left to go in the first half. Sands dumps it off, and it's put up and laid in by Petty.
And just when it looks like Brescia's hauling back in, and Montreat comes up with a big bucket.
All the way out. Travel call, and you could see it right when Stewart made the move. She was trying to get away with it, but not getting past the likes of Haley Ward.
Yeah, but that is a travel. There's no doubt. And the game of basketball, that's not always called, but what that was a travel.
And you could see Brooklyn trying to take that extra step and just keep the play going and get away with it, which has happened in the past.
Especially in the NBA.
Very much in the NBA.
WNBA.
Very much. You're allowed about 3 or 4 steps up in the pros. Taken away by Caroline Lucas. Lucas is going to go coast to coast here on the drive with the left, and it's in.
Coast to coast.
Lucas has 4. A 5-point game. Montreat has been scoreless, or at least limited, I should say. But Petty has been good. Misses that one. Rebound comes out to Crampy, and she'll dump it off for Williams to bring it up. Elise Williams, that is. Puts it on the right dribble, on the right side wing. Open 3 from the corner. Has a big arc, but just hits the far side of the rim.
Had all day to shoot that one. Not a bad shot.
Sands kept it in, almost went out. Actually almost had a turnover back in their own defensive corner. 3 ball from Sanders just missed. Going out here with Lucas. Lucas again, after getting the rebound, is going to immediately take the shot. That one doesn't have enough on it. And no shot. Foul is going to be called on Maddie Fiara. That's her first.
But Crampy with some good moves underneath for Brescia.
And so that sends Jenna Crampy over to the line. Owensboro, Kentucky native, freshman. And again, you see a lot of the younger players in this game. It's intentional. They're both young teams, but they rely heavily on the youth.
And Crampy from right at home. And she, 62.5% at the free throw line coming in.
Second one good. 25-21, 4-point game. The slimmest lead that Montreat has had since the opening quarter. Alexander just pulls up from the elbow and missed. Williams now. Gets it down to Morris. Morris kick out. 3 ball from Joe. Missed. Rebound stays with Williams. Williams will give it back to Joe. Now Williams in the corner. Swinging it around. Here comes Lucas. Screen, free ball, and picks up the dribble. Has to cross over to Joe. Joe from the free throw line is good.
Good ball movement. And Joe Jordan made the most of it with the 17-footer.
It's a 2-point game. Montreat pulls up Edmondson just missed, picked up by Williams. She's going to bring it across the timeline here with just under 90 seconds left to go in the first half. Moving quickly here in this game. Two fast-paced teams. Joe back over to Crampy. Crampy will drive. Tries to get it over to Morris, and then it's taken away by Montreat. Alexander, quick dump off and lay-in, misses from Sierra Lale.
She wished she had that one back.
It was a wide open layup and just had too much on it.
You know what? With everything that's happened, to Trey would actually give Brescia the lead. Right here, Deuce would tie this thing up.
13 seconds left on the shot clock, 45 left in this half. Foul called, it's offensive.
But the Montreat defense comes up when it has to and gets a stop.
Second foul on Cassidy Morris.
Second really fun game we have had here in Conference Room B.
We have been really blessed with some great competition today. We have the whole women's side, all 8 teams playing here today. We'll have one more game tomorrow for the women. The rest of the games will be on Conference Room A. Foul was a jump ball and possession arrow to the Bearcats here with 1 second difference between the shot and game clock. And there's another foul. That's going to end up turning off the shot clock. Ramaya Sanders gets called for the foul. And I believe that was the 5th personal, so it's going to send us to the bonus. And if you didn't hear Nick Chakowski letting his point guard know, you got to be loud. Still a 2-point game, a chance to tie it up here in the bonus. Here's Lucas. And it's knocked in, 1-point game.
This is fun.
Yeah,
Montreat has played well, but Brescia has battled back big time in the last part of the half.
It didn't feel like this game could go into the half tied, but as of now it is.
Well, Montreat may not be done though.
Absolutely not. They have the last possession here. Cut play, down low, Edmondson, kick out for Sanders. Sanders fakes the shot, puts it on the left dribble, and then it's knocked away by Williams. Right after getting a talk with the coach about being louder, she gets the steal, and now she has a chance to put this half away.
Used her quickness there for the turnover.
5. Picks up the dribble, take it away!
Oh my.
Edmondson's gonna be able to finish this, but she didn't get it off in time! She had a wide open lane, but she didn't have the clock awareness, and this game is gonna be tied at the half. Wow, Virginia Edmondson did everything right, but just wasn't quick enough.
I'm speechless on that. There was about 3 turns in that last 30 seconds and a half.
What a game we have had here in Conference Room B. So excited to have you along on the SESN. This is the Brescia Bearcats taking on the Montreat Cavaliers. We are all tied at 25. We'll be back in the start of the second half. Actually, we might even have an interview for you here. We'll figure that out. But as of right now, 25-25 here between Montreat and Brescia.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere. Catch the most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch highlights many different ways by visiting our website. the Southeast Sports Network, where every play matters.
The story of the United States has been written for centuries. Penned by millions of authors, written in every language, from every perspective. With every chapter as unique as our people and our land. Our story is one made up of many. Find yours in the USA.
Welcome back here to Kingsport, Tennessee. Excited to have you along. We're joined now by the head man at Oakland City, Ken French, who also runs the show, quite literally and figuratively. But Coach, you know, an exciting time here. You have 8 women's team here on floor B today for Conference Room B. Just what does it mean to have an event like this in Kingsport and everything that goes into this?
You know, this is the 10th year of the show, and you know, when I came up with the idea, you watch all these Division I Feast Week games and everything from ESPN, and you know, you see Battle for Atlanta. So I'm like, why can't we do something like that for our level?
Right.
And that's how this came about. And I talked to Frank Lett, who's in charge at Visit Kingsport, and we came up with the format and everything. First year we only had 8 teams. We only had 1 court, men's teams. It went great, and since then it's just blown up. You know, this year we've got 30 teams, 22 men, 8 women, and we've got, you know, obviously the last few years we've been playing on both courts, and we set up 2 arenas here in the convention center, and you know, it's just nice. You stay in a hotel, walk
right
through
there.
the lobby. Right here's the games. You know, it's set up great for fans,
Perfect.
for the teams. It's a great environment, and it showcases the best of NAI.
You know, it's been 10 years. Visit Kingsport's been a part of all of them. But for that organization and what they provide, whether it be staff, the floor, the venue, of course, but what has that partnership been like for 10 years?
Oh, it's been phenomenal. Frank Lett and Bradley Hoover, who now runs the division that we work with to run the event, they've just been phenomenal. It's just been, you know, the first few years, 6 years, I was at University of Rio Grande when we ran it, and I was the head coach there. I've been at Oakland City the last 4 years. So the partnership's just been phenomenal. And what they do for the Appalachian Conference and then what they're able to do for us here,
right,
you know, in our event, the show, it's just phenomenal. They do a great job. If you're in athletics and you're looking for a community to support you and run an event, Kingsport's the place to be.
Absolutely, and it's perfectly positioned for a lot of these teams who are traveling. It's essentially located, and you know, you talked to me earlier when we were kind of before the event really got going, but you said there's a wait list for this tournament. That's how big it has gotten. Everybody wants to be here.
On the men's side, there's a wait list, and you know, people are always asking questions like, hey, do you give guarantees? Is there a deal on the rooms? And we do get a discounted rate on the rooms here at Meadowview. Not a big one, but we do get a little bit of one. But there's no guarantees or anything. It's about the competition. It's about coming here and playing two good games, and everybody pays for one set of officials, and that's how we do this. It's about the competition and showcasing what student athletes at the NAIA level, how good they are and what they're capable of.
On both sides of the bracket, but specifically on the men's side that you're going to be playing in here, you have, out of the top of my mind, a ton of top 25 teams. The competition here is unlike anywhere else in the country. You're not going to get it anywhere else.
Well, you watch the very first game of the day at 2 o'clock, Northwestern beats University of Cumberland's, and it's a top 10 matchup.
Right.
And both Coach Daniel at University of Cumberland's, Coach Corver at Northwestern, they do a great job. Both teams are well coached. They play hard. They do it the right way. It was a phenomenal basketball game. Battle at the beach and all that kind of stuff. They have great games down there, but what we're able to do year in, year out here at the show speaks for itself.
You could see that matchup, and you could see a lot of these matchups in the NAIA tournament later
absolutely.
this year. The voters use this tournament as kind of a marking point.
Right.
And it's intentional. You have voters coming in. A lot of the coaches here that are already participating are watching other games. You're not just here for 2 games. You're here for all 32 games.
Well, Ave Maria's head coach, he's a voter. Chris Briggs at Georgetown, he's a voter. I'm a voter. There's a handful of us here, and we get to put eyes on all these teams in one place and watch them play, and not just watch them play against quality competition. Right. And even if a team loses, you can see, hey, that team's good. Like University of Cumberland, they lost. They're still a good team, right. And everybody knows it, and everybody got a chance to see that.
So those votes now going to have a little bit more weight from playing here in Kingsport this weekend. Oh,
absolutely, and it's the matchups. It helps leagues. Leagues get, if you got a team here playing in the show, and then they go back and they finish 3rd or 4th in their league, and you can compare that and go, well, we saw them at the show and they're a really good team, but there's 3 teams in their league better than them. You know how to vote them,
right?
And it helps.
And these conference matchups too, just the conferences that are able to send teams and be a part of it. You don't see anybody that you may not see, or I should say this, you see teams that you may not see otherwise.
Correct.
Which is, for you, making the schedule. How much goes into the schedule?
It's unreal. A lot of it, and it is me. I'm the one who does the schedule. But I talk to the coaches, and I try to ask them, who would you like to play? What matchups would you like to play? Some want to play outside of their arc, right. Their area regional that we play in. Some want to play teams within their arc, and so they can go head to head and compare those. And I try to give everybody on paper. If we left here on Sunday and everybody went 1-1, they won a game and they lost the game, from a director's standpoint, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's never going to work that way, though. So somebody's going to go 2-0, somebody's going to go 0-2, but there's going to be teams here that might go 0-2, and they're still really good teams.
Right. Final one for you. What are you most excited about this year specifically?
Outside of just the experience that I've had with my own team, with Oakland City, it's just the matchups and just being able to interact with so many great coaches, and we're starting to turn the corner at Oakland City, and I want to see how my guys respond to playing on this stage and this level. But it's the coaches, to be honest. For me, it's the camaraderie, being able to talk to the coaches and just see the high level of basketball. And again, it's showcasing NAIA.
There's a chance after every game, late at night, everybody can get together down in the lobby and hang out with each other.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Which is always great. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time. And thank you for putting on this tournament every year. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Appreciate it, and I'm glad you guys are here, and hopefully everything will go well. We'll keep our internet connection and all the streams going, and that's the biggest question I have every weekend that we do this is, hey, what's the link for the live stream? What's the link for the live stream? So hopefully we keep them both up and running.
Coach, thank you so much. That's Coach Ken French with the Oakland City team that's getting ready to play here this weekend in Kingsport. The Visit Kingsport, the show, here in Kingsport, Tennessee. Coach, thank you so much. Halftime here between Montreat and Brescia, 25-25 apiece, just getting back underway in about 3 minutes or so. We'll be right back here on SESN.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at SESNsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job. It's our promise.
A truck is a tool, but a ram is life. Yeah, it's the wipe the sweat off your brow sort of life. But it's also the let's load up the ATV's life. The my kids play way too many sports life. The let's find a secret spot to fish life. That looks nice. Innovations, comforts, and powertrains built to power all the lives you live. Ram.
Welcome back here to Kingsport, Tennessee. It has been a fabulous game here between Montreat and Brescia. It has been 25-25, and when you think about this, Walt, we have been in a game of runs, scores, misses, makes, everything that you can imagine, and it has been good as we get ready for this second half.
Now the run, Montreat had it early. Brescia made a nice comeback, and it looked like Brescia might take the lead. Then a big steal by Montreat, and it looked like they were going to take the lead, but it's so close.
Right.
It's just a nanosecond after the buzzer. So we got an exciting second half coming up.
So 20 minutes left, 10 left in this third quarter. That's Walt Ferber. I'm Matt Kibbe, and we're bringing you this one on SESN. First shot is good from Ramaya Sanders, and she now has 6 points.
And that moved her up to second leading scorer in the ball game with 6 points for Montreat.
Talk about some of those quick first half stats. The Montreat Cavaliers shooting 31%, and Brescia is shooting 32%. So two very evenly matched teams.
And both, that says something about the defense, and both teams would like to shoot the ball a little bit better.
I just heard over the PA, wanted to clarify it was a 2. In the NAIA, following that second arc, there are 2 lines on this floor due to the high school games that will play here in some occasions, but it's the second line, the farther one back is the 3-point line. Players, oftentimes have to be reminded of that too, because they'll see the line below their feet and they'll actually end up taking a 2 as opposed to a 3.
That is one you have to be focused on. There's no doubt about that. A lot of courts have that with that second. You got to figure out which line you want to be behind, because now in the game of basketball, the intermediate jump shot's pretty much gone. You're going to either shoot a 3 or you want to have a layup at the basket.
Edmondson picks up her dribble. Edmondson was the one who got the steal before the half. And Alexander just stepped on that baseline and turns it over. That's Katie. Was trying to have one of those fabulous assists that she's known for this Cavaliers team. Away 2 teams switch sides, of course, here in the half. Now the Bearcats in the blue going right to left, foul off ball.
Once again, Brescia's going into Cassidy Morris. They started early, but Montreat did a really good job defensively over most of the first half.
2-point lead for Montreat. Drive here from Crampy, gives it over to Morris. Morris down low. Rare switch here and a jump ball with Katie Alexander and Landry Moons. I say rare switch because it was Morris beyond the arc instead of down low in the post.
Katie Alexander just reached in there and got it. And we had a couple of those in game number 1. That's a steal your lunch money kind of takeaway.
Normally you think it's a mismatch down low that you're looking for offensively, but in that case it was the offense having a mismatch with the defense. Yes. It was a small and Landry Moons tied up with one of the stronger players in Katie Alexander. Brescia keeps possession of it. Knocked in, and Caroline Lucas gets fouled. She'll head to the line for 2.
Now Brescia getting to the free throw line and a chance to tie this thing up again.
Caroline Lucas at the line, shooting a pair for the Bears.
As I say, Brescia's, it's been a big year at their university. They have had a lot of capital updates as far as their athletic fields. Have redone their baseball field, their soccer fields, and River State's conference's teams getting a lot of good venues to play.
Really something we're seeing across the entire landscape of the NAIA. Another tie-up here. Jump ball will be called. Possession arrow keeps it with Montreat.
That's not a place for the faint of heart down there.
It was a physical battle that went down to the floor. So that possession arrow is one of those ones that really, truly favors Brescia in that situation, because Montreat was already bringing it up, and now the possession arrow will change in their direction. So a good jump ball. Kick back out for Edmondson. She shoots off the front of the rim. Rebound for the Bearcats, and that was Jordan Joe.
Did like Montreat's ball movement there, though. Got a good look.
Ball movement good here for the Bearcats. 16 seconds left on the shot clock. Joe thought about taking the 3 and now finds a wide open Jenna Crampy, who's able to lay it in, and they take the lead here.
That's what happens when your offense moves all the time. You get looks like that.
There's a quick basket in transition from Sanders, and now it's 29-28.
Goes back and forth and then back again.
We are going to see, this feels like a game that's, 1, going to be a race, and 2, going to see a lot of lead changes.
I don't know if 2 halves or 4 quarters are going to be enough for this one.
7 minutes left in this third quarter. Foul called.
We could be doing more than 40 minutes of basketball in this one.
Sanders got called for it. It was not on the shot, so it keeps it on the floor here. I did want to point out a couple fouls ago was Karis Alexander. That was her 3rd. So she's actually off the floor now. Inbound goes down low to Morris, leaves it for Lucas. Lucas off the front of the rim. Rebound goes to Katie Alexander. She has to keep her dribble. Now Lucas picks it up, and now the tie-up is still loose. Montreat will get it back because of the touch by Brescia. It's not going to be over and back. And there's the reach in.
We're getting some crazy 50-50 balls here. This, if you love blue-collar basketball, this is your kind of game here today.
This is a true Midwest River States versus Appalachian Conference matchup, and there's an offensive foul there on Katie Alexander, her second.
There was contact there, no doubt about that, but let's just say Carolyn Lucas wanted to make sure that contact was known.
Absolutely. Fired up after drawing the foul. That was a lot to happen there in about 20 seconds of game time. And even more so now with just a 1-point lead for Montreat.
Montreat in his zone.
And the little no-look pass is confused by Jenna Crampy, so it goes back to Montreat.
Little change up in the Montreat zone there, and it ends up causing Brescia to turn the ball over.
3-ball from Sanders. 3-ball good. Wow, what a shot.
She could have ate a sandwich. She had all day for that one, but nothing but nylon.
Travel called on Amelia Mackey, and it's going to give it back to Montreat. So now that 3-ball gives Montreat a 4-point lead, and they have the ball.
A little bit of a run for Montreat now.
4-point run right now since the last bucket for the Bearcats. Pull-up jumper, Edmondson, and then it's knocked back in, rebound up, and one for Anaya Verla.
That a hustle play there by Montreat, and a chance for an old-fashioned 3-point play.
Verla, a freshman from Statesville, North Carolina, and that was not a freshman play. Completes the and one.
Montreat is also using a number of players in this game.
Yes.
That deep rotation could help them down the stretch.
When you're a team that likes to play fast and free, you often need subs. There's another foul. It's going to be on Treslin Roberts, number 3 for Montreat. But, Walt, we talked about it before the game. These two teams like to be fast in transition. Well, if you're a team that's fast in transition, that takes a lot of energy.
Yes, it does.
And so you have to have depth to be able to do that.
Montreat, and they've had balance. They have had 7 players that have scored in this contest.
Lucas will hit the first. That's Caroline Lucas, another freshman in this game. I can't stress enough how impressive it is to see these young players making plays that usually you only reserve for juniors and seniors.
Now, these freshmen have certainly not played like freshmen today.
Second one off the mark, rebound for Verla, and it's sent out to Edmondson, and then kick back out to Sands. Sands will put on a move, go to the elbow, kick back out to Sanders. Sanders now fakes the 3, drives, goes up with the right and lays it in. What a shot from Sanders.
That was smooth.
She's got 13, now a full court press, gets the ball back to Montreat. Montreat with a quick run here, 37-29, make it stay that way with the rebound coming to the Bearcats.
That could have put it a double-digit Montreat lead. Big stop.
Just 8. 37-29. 5 minutes left to go in this third quarter, and a off-ball foul is called on Montreat, it looks like. Yes, it was Treslin Roberts. Her second.
And these officials doing a good job, as the officials in the first game did today. The physicality is really ramped up, and they're looking to rein that in just a bit.
It's different crew from the first game, so if you were watching the first game, you might not have been able to get used to how they were going to call the game. It's a new crew. John Peters, Haley Ward, Chris Spurlock, part of this NAIA officiating crew. Talking to Ken French, talked about how really the buy-in fee to get in this tournament is just paying for one of your game's officials. Everything else is basically first come, first serve. There's a wait list to be a part of the show.
30 teams this year, 22 men, 8 women. And the city of Kingsport really puts the mat out, and it is a great, fun weekend.
Sand with it after the long stretch play. Cut play for Sanders, tries to go up, but just lost it on what looked like a block attempt from one of the Bearcats.
Now Carolyn Lucas ended up picking up that errant thing to get the turnover on Montreat.
Morris is going to battle for a shot at the free throw line. It works out. She'll go for 2 here. That foul was called on Anaya Sands.
Cassidy Morris, a junior out of Whitesville, Kentucky, transfer from Rim Lake Junior College. And she is smooth and an intelligent ball player. And once she gets to the line, she's almost perfect.
Perfect there. 2 for 2.
91.7 coming in.
4:36 left to go in this third quarter of play. 37-32. On the far side of this court. 3-ball Edmondson off the mark, yes, and then rebound comes out to Robinson, who goes up, foul called. It's on Morris. This is her third.
That is bad news for Brescia fans. That is a young lady that the Bearcats really need to have on the floor. And she's going to come out now.
Really kind of has to, maybe earlier than what they would want with 4:19 left. Maybe you expect your big to get 3 or 4 fouls in the fourth quarter, but not with 4 minutes left in the third.
Now she's one of the veterans. I'm betting they go back to her not too long from now.
Another 3-ball misses from Edmondson from the corner this time, and the Bearcats get it right back.
Now this could get to 1 possession again with a tray.
They'll go down low. Joe with it. No look kick out to Lucas, and it's off the mark.
Close.
Almost there. We almost had our reverse Joe Buck. Kick ball is going to be called, so it's going to stay with Montreat here. What a game we have had here today. 2 great games to start our day at the show here in Kingsport, and it's just going to get better from this. We got the number 3 team in the nation coming up.
As the Carpenter said a long, long time ago, we've only just begun.
That's right. There's the 3-ball from Ramaya Sanders.
Good look on that baseline tray.
Sanders has got 16. Somebody we really haven't even talked a whole lot about, but quietly putting together a very impressive game.
Overall leading scorer of both teams.
Off the mark there for the Bearcats, giving it over to Katie Alexander. Alexander will drive, wants Sanders on the outside, but instead goes to Edmondson, who drives, goes up with the right off the side of the rim and out. Synthetic floor gets in the way of that bounce.
But given the young lady, Williams kept that dribble.
There was a travel, and it is called. That is the second one on Brooklyn Stewart. Tried to play through it again, but just lost her footing. Tripped over the line, essentially.
Yeah, she wasn't able to hold on to the dribble there.
It's a great, I say this, Visit Kingsport does a great job with this. It's just a different feel. It's a great court. It's just a different feel for these players.
And there's a lot of courts in the future that are gonna go in that direction.
Yes.
So you gotta get used to them.
The reason they go with the synthetic floor here, it's a little bit lighter, but it's also, it has a little bit more give for these players. So it's a little bit better for the sports like volleyball, basketball, of course, when you're going down to the floor, but it has a little bit of give, a little bit softer than that hardwood.
Anything you can do to lessen injuries is a good thing.
Right. A little bit nicer on the knees as well. Not as hard when you're running down, but these two teams so used to playing on the hardwood. Montreat right now playing at UNC Asheville after their devastation to their gym with Hurricane Helene, but right now they're playing incredibly well, and you wouldn't know that they don't have their home gym and they're traveling nearly 30 minutes to go to practice.
Well, Brescia has turned the ball over 20 times in this game. Montreat half that.
Another 3-ball in and out. Edmondson got the rebound. She gives it to Alexander, who runs the point and runs it well for this Montreat team. Thought about dishing it out. Now she finally will. Goes to Varla, and Varla misses off the side of the rim. 2 minutes left to go in this 8-point game in the third quarter.
Once again, Brescia's going to try to make a little run here to get it closer.
Brescia trying to get it down to Jordan Joe. Jordan Joe stands at 5'11". When she is on the floor in placement of Cassidy Morris, she has to play that Cassidy Morris role, and typically she has Cassidy Morris with her to make that role a little bit easier, but now she's the lone big on the floor.
22nd turnover by Brescia.
Another 3-ball from Vera, and it's good.
And Montreat has 17 points off of Brescia turnovers, a big difference in this game.
Shooting it from 3, they are 4 of 18, and it is a 9-point lead in favor of Montreat over the Brescia Bearcats. We'll be right back here on SCSN. Welcome back. Want to give a huge shout out to our crew here on SCSN. John is our producer. Frogo is our new camera op / DJ for the arena. And we have been having a lot of fun up here in our booth with this game. It's a 9-point lead in favor of Montreat, 43-32 over the Brescia Bearcats.
Well, Fraga said he's showing her versatility.
That's right.
She's one of the best NAIA volleyball players in the country for the Oakland City University team. Is doing a tremendous job on camera today.
Taken away after the pressure comes from Montreat. Now a chance to even further extend the lead, but the floater goes over the top. Want to point out, Cassidy Morris is back in this game with 3 fouls. Edmondson 3. Edmondson hits!
And they got to get her back in because this thing's starting to get away from the Bearcats.
Full court pressure again, can't be broken by the Bearcats, and Montreat's going to go in for a basket. It misses. Morris helps out and gets the board. That's what they were missing these past few minutes.
Morris is a steadying influence, and you got a feeling they're gonna move the offense through her right now.
She just has to be smart down low. Can't have another foul as she goes up, gets her own rebound, puts the putback to the side of the net, and it misses. A rare miss down low for Cassidy Morris.
Montreat good defense and did not foul.
It was Katie Alexander who's been matched up down low with Morris. That one misses, goes back to the Bearcats here with 38 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Now it's going to be Crampy. She has to put on an awkward shot. It's knocked away. Montreat gets it back. Quick back and forth here. Edmondson, who just hit the 3, gives it over, and the lay-in with the left is good by Karis Alexander.
Montreat using a deep rotation, and it has paid dividends. Right now, they're a half a step ahead of everything Brescia does.
Here's Joe. Tries to go down low. It works for Crampy. She cuts in. 10 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. Alexander will bring it up. This is Katie. Long pass to Edmondson. 3 seconds left on the timeline. No. And the shot will go up off the glass and just miss. Almost was a crazy finish to this third quarter.
Great shot. She got it up there and thought for a second it may have had a chance.
It would have been a crazy shot to end this quarter on a buzzer beater. 48-34 is our score. We're going to step aside here between the third and fourth quarter. When we come back, the final 10 minutes here from Kingsport.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at SESNsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
Welcome back here to Kingsport, Tennessee. Brescia Bearcats taking on the Montreat Cavaliers. 48-34 is our score in favor of Montreat. It's been a really good game here, Walt, between these two teams, and we can only anticipate a really good final 10 minutes.
Brescia needs to get a pretty good start here in the fourth quarter. Montreat really took it away from them in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the third as they outscored Brescia 23-9 in that quarter.
Brescia with it. Lucas, the Caroline Lucas that is, gonna drive, trying to get onto the baseline, has to kick it all the way back out to Stewart. Stewart now goes up with the right and is blocked, and at least a hand on it before it went up to the basket.
Heavy traffic there, couldn't get through it.
Now Alexander with a wide open lane, but can't finish. And she knows it too.
Interior defense of both teams making it rough. No freebies in this one. Montreat really putting on the pressure.
It's been a tough to break for the Bearcats. They haven't really had an answer until kind of that break out there. And Lucas will draw the foul. She'll head to the line for 2.